So let me begin. Yeah. So as we see, because of the increase in the usage of the mobile devices, there is new term that is called as a nomophobia has come. So basically, it means like when you don't have a mobile device near to you, you might feel anxious. Okay. So this kind of new terminologies are coming because we are that much dependent in our mobile devices. And here, the growth of the computing power in the mobile device is also exponential. Like one thing you can observe is the right now in the market, the average smartphone contains more computing power than the computers used during the Apollo 11 moon landing mission. So you can see how much computing power and how much it has increased right now. Okay. And it is evident like the right now every person averaging like they will use 58 to 60 times a day they will check their phones. So it is becoming a part of our life, so we are using like mobile phones for everything. Okay, so here you can see the mobile devices penetration in our life. So we are basically using for every kind of stuff like basic internet surfing and banking and health related thing, booking, communications, and it is definitely exponentially increasing only. So this is the current scenario of the mobile phones. And generally if we see like what kind of things the applications are doing, basically it is dealing with the user data and whatever task that we are performing, so that task he will help you to perform. Internet access is there. It will store the personally identified informations and other data. Some sensitive informations are there. So basically all the critical data and things are stored in the mobile device in the current scenario. But because of this exponential increase in the usage of the mobile devices, we are seeing a lot of cyber fraud and news, like sir said. These news can range from various domains, like we'll see some examples. So let's say someone is using a fake website to download some application and he got duped of, let's say, rupees 2 lakhs or something in an online fraud. And here you can see there are fake applications being transmitted through the phishing links and other things. And these this can be very difficult for the normal citizen to check what is there. And like other things you can see, cyber criminals dupe high code employees of this some amount. So these kind of news are becoming very common. And even the phishing links, like I said, so fake money earning messaging apps are circulated you WhatsApp and other things. Okay, so these are the other things. And here if we talk about the statistics also, there are so many cyber frauds and ransomware attacks and what kind of attacks. So every kind of attack is being increasing only, and particularly we will discuss in this session about the mobile security scenarios. And here the because with the increase of the AI technology right now, so in the with the increase of the AI technology, the social engineering attacks are increasing day by day. Okay, so social engineering attacks, like they will manipulate you psychologically. So the psychological terminologies are there in the social engineering attack, and basically they will also try to extract the um, personally identified information, critical information from a normal user. Okay, so these kind of things are there. And right now these kind of attacks has increased, and so very few organizations are actually working in this direction. Okay, how we can attack, how we can reduce these attacks for a normal user. Okay, so in these direction we need to work, how we can do this like this. And here are some of the stats which will tell you like why in the mobile security, the why the mobile security is required in our daily lives right now. So here you can see more than three quarters of the Android devices, they will use more than 2 years old Android versions of it. So that itself becomes a vulnerability as such. And here also in the case of iOS devices, if we see, if the iOS is releasing the latest release of the version, so for one of the iOS version, they only 55% of the users have actually updated the security. So they are running the older versions of the iOS. So this is regarding the Apple thing. And even every mobile device, if we talk about the average mobile device, they will connect to almost 160 different IP addresses. So 160 different server locations on an average each mobile device will connect. So that requires some network security communication as well. And here, like we can see some stats like 1 in 4 mobile apps include at least one high risk security flaws, and business apps are likely to leak some login credentials and other things like that. So we have to be more careful regarding using the business application. And like if you see half of the apps in the Play Store or in the this thing, if we see, so 5 to 10 million downloads, even if they have, then also half of the applications will have the security flaw. So this is the current situation right now. Okay, so basically mobile security, what we are dealing, basically we have to check how our personally identified information, whatever data that is present in the mobile device, how we can safeguard that data. So that is our major concern in the mobile security phone, because the mobile phones right now stores lots of personal data, and which is crucial for prevent attempts by cyber intruders. Yeah. And now comes the very important questions, like we will discuss, let's say, which is better, the Android is better or iOS better. But if we see on a larger perspective, so both iOS and Android have diverse models, and each with its own, they have both advantages and disadvantages. So basically for iOS, it is a closed system. So that closed system is one of the advantage, also disadvantage also, because it is closed, so no one can access. But since it is closed, no one will be able to find what vulnerabilities it has. So let's say Android will have like open, Android is an open source project. So there anyone can see the things, anyone can find the vulnerability, and the continuous upgrade we can do in the Android thing. And like this, and one example I could say is, but for iOS devices, the hardware part of it, historically, it is more secure. So basically, we know about the cryptographic techniques, right? So the iOS devices, which are for 5S or 6S later, they all support the secure enclave information, secure enclave hardware support. So basically, it will help in the your cryptographic operations. But unfortunately, like the medium level or the high-end smartphones of the Android, they support these kind of security features for cryptography, but the medium level or the low Android phones, they won't support. So these kind of things we have to keep in mind. So like in the Android, if we see Google Pixel 4a and above, and some of the high end Samsung devices, so these will support some security features for cryptographic, for storing in the hardware level, like that. So we have to make decisions. Okay, if we feel like, okay, with what security is there in the Android devices, what kind of security features they can provide. So accordingly, we can select, and as per our needs, we can decide what kind of which kind of thing would be better. So this is this iOS versus Android thing. And right now we will see the mobile threats in the mobile perspective. What could be the things in the what could be the various threats, and we will see one by one. And these threats will basically compromise or steal the data from the mobile devices. So first comes is the adware. So adware is the unwanted software designed to throw advertisements upon your screen. I think you might have noticed in the previous smartphones. Right now it is very less, but in the previous smartphones, sometimes suddenly some kind of ads will come directly in between. Okay, so these kind of adwares are there in the mobile phones, basically in the application, but the general user won't know what kind of thing is there. So these adwares can be good also, because that is good beneficial from the this perspective, like to earn the revenue. But they are somewhat there might be a cyber fraud also, like this, because they will take some kind of general personal information also from you. So these things are adware. So basically this can take the information and they can misutilize it. And so this is the regarding the adware. The second is spyware. So spyware is a category of the malware itself. So basically which tries to observe your activities without the permissions. So what kind of activities? So whether what where you are going, what is your geolocation information, so exactly which place you are in. So like this is one of the example, but there could be various other things how an malicious spyware application can be able to track your information. Okay, so this is this. And then there comes the Trojan. So basically Trojan in terms of mobile is like, if some application is there or any kind of software is there for the mobile application, so it will say its functionality is different. Let's say so we have seen recently there are various calculator applications will come. So they will see like it is a normal calculator application but for the mobile devices, but inside they will perform various other malicious activities. Okay, so what they are doing is basically they are disguising themselves as a different application, and then they are doing various malicious things from the inside. So this is regarding the Trojan thing. And then the ransomware. So ransomware thing is like, they will be injected into your mobile device, and they will encrypt all the files of your device. If you have any critical thing in your device, critical files and other things, they will get encrypted, and the attacker will ask you like some kind of ransom money. Then he will decrypt the data. Okay, so if these kind of things are there in the mobile device, then it is called as a ransomware application. And then there's a right now these kind of things are increasing a little, that is fake or the hidden applications. So using the various channels right now, fake applications and hidden applications are entered into your device, and the normal user won't be able to know what kind of whether this application is a fake application or a genuine application or not. Since the Android right now will allow the side load of the applications, so these kind of things you will find more in the Android devices. But right now, I think Apple is also trying to allow this side load of applications. So there we have to see whether they follow certain critical guidelines or not to sideload the applications. Right now, Apple won't allow you to sideload the application, but later they are planning to do so. So that we need to see what security mechanisms they will do for their mobile devices. So this is the fake and the hidden applications. And this is the general, we can see spyware are there, and then backdoor. So some applications will open the backdoor, and then any malicious actor can do security attack on your mobile devices, like SMS for fraud, and the routing. So mobile device routing someone can do to have extra privileges as well. So spam attack, phishing, as we have seen, the Trojan, like we have seen. So these are just a summarized version of it. So toll fraud and the call fraud is also right now it is there. Ransomware and this privilege escalation is also there. So privilege escalation basically means like your device is there, so it is a non-rooted device, but there are some agents in the mobile application which can turn the non-rooted device also into a rooted device, which is not good for the security purpose, if we say about for the mobile devices. And right now, I'll just discuss one of the malware in action. So this is called the rat server, and how this malware attacks is in the mobile device. So we will see. So you can see at the right side, the attacker is there, and he has developed a malicious application that has the backdoor to it. Okay, so he has developed an application, and he transfers that application to the device, to any of the victim device. Using WhatsApp they can transfer, using some link they can forward to the device. Okay, so they can use any means to transfer this application to the device. And you can see this application is there, it will feel like an app store, a genuine application. But as soon as the victim opens this application, you can see there is a complete control of the attacker to the device. Okay, so what he can do is, here you can do various things. So attacker can capture the microphone, attacker can capture the video, and SMS and logs and everything from the device, and without even the victim knowing it. He will not know it. There is no GUI in the mobile devices that will show, okay, my this resource has been accessed by someone. It will not show. So directly attacker will have access to these kind of things. So this is how much critical the mobile devices have been if some backdoor applications has been installed in the victim's device. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, circulation, how this circulation could be happening. Okay. So first is the phishing links. Definitely, someone can send you a link and which will behave like a normal link, but definitely it is a disguise in something for some genuine thing. And then it is an infected app. Some apps they will download from the third party app stores. In the Android, it is very common. Like the general, they will use some kind of a mod application, so which is modified by someone and it is being hosted in the third party app stores. Yeah. And if we use the unsecure networks like say open Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi which is not secure, so using this also threats could come. There are these fake websites also. Fake websites can also contribute in circulation of these threats. Okay. So right now we have seen these kind of threats are there. So what countermeasures like we can do, okay, as part of a normal citizen, and what we can do and in the mobile devices to secure our thing. So first is like install a antivirus and the security apps. Okay. So first you check what kind of security apps are there in the ecosystem. Sorry. And then you can see you can install some of the good apps that are present. Okay. And one thing is know your app. So basically the thing is every time some application you will install, and even you will not update it regularly. So as a normal citizen you should know like what kind of applications it is installed, and everyone should know, okay, this application is doing this thing, even I don't require this application, then why this application is there. So these kind of things we should do, and then we will remove the unwanted applications, this thing. And we should only install the applications from the trusted sources. So right now we have discussed this, the app store that is there. So right now in the Apple devices, the these things would be there. You can install the applications only from the app store itself. So that is, we can say somehow it is trusted. But for the Google Play Store, it is somewhat difficult. So there are various other third-party app stores like we discussed. So someone can download. But as a we should make a guideline, something like we should install everything from the trusted source itself. And then basically we should see what are all the permissions, because in our projects when we see the first one common behavior in all the malware applications is that they will have the maximum permissions. Okay. Without the permissions they cannot do anything. So right now we discussed a malware application. That application also will have the maximum permission. So this is the one common characteristic of any malware in with respect to mobile application. They will have maximum permissions. So you should check, okay, this application is there. This application is saying this is for this. One second. One second. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Yeah. So so we are discussing about the app permissions. And then yeah, so you should see what app it is there and what permissions it should be there. And then it is like we should use a secure Bluetooth and NFC in the mobile devices. And be cautious of the, because already we know about the phishing things, so we should be cautious. So okay, what are the phishing things is there, what could be it is not looking like a genuine thing, and we should be cautious about that thing. And similarly the kind of phishing is like smishing and wishing also, like the text message, using the phone calls. Right now with the increase of the AI technology, it has been increased. Yeah, so we should be aware of these things. And then definitely lock screen should be enabled. So we will feel like this is a very normal issue, but majority of the, if we do a survey, so majority of the devices, they won't have the lock screen itself. So this is also some of the critical thing. And then we have the backup of the data. So whatever data you have, if someone has done the ransomware attack, you should keep backup of your data, of the critical data as well, to prevent some kind of attacks. Okay. So one thing is like use the secure Wi-Fi network, because the insecure Wi-Fi networks may have the various cyber threats involved. So whatever the Wi-Fi you are using, you should use the like good Wi-Fi as well. And what is like we discussed, the whenever the devices or the Android thing will give you a security patch or security update, we should update that security, we should update that patch as well. And then definitely this is a generic thing, like you will use the strong password in everything. So this you should be following. Yeah. And then recently we have seen like there is the bloatware application. Okay. So when we purchase an mobile device, so let's say one example we will take is we have some Netflix application or some other applications which is already installed. So we will say, okay, this application is already coming from the device when we purchase the device, so it is a genuine application. Okay. But we should know the applications which is already present when we bought the device. That is a different application if you download the application from the Play Store. Okay. So that thing we need to check. We should, if any bloatware applications are there in the device, we should first of all uninstall all the bloatware applications, because they are not the same application which you found in the Play Store. So this thing also needs to be checked. Yeah. And yeah, these things are some of the signs as part of the mobile device which can give you an indication, like there might be some misbehavior in the application, like increased data usage. So some data is there which is automatically your data usage has increased, but how it can be increased, so like that you should know. And the camera and the mic, because right now you can see in the both in the Android, in the latest versions of the Android and in the iOS device as well, if your camera and mic is turned on, there will be some green dot at the top of the notification bar. So you should just check whether that dot will comes somewhere in between, like that. So this camera and mic, this will turn on randomly, so this will give you an indication. Battery is automatically getting warm, and some unusual text you are getting. Okay. And then active phone while not in use. So if the phone is somewhat active, even if you are not using it after the sleep timer, then also this will give you an indication. Okay. And then definitely the website will look different, and there are some phone taking a long time to turn off. So there might be some services running in the phone which is taking you. So basically these are some kind of signs that we can look for, and we can check whether yes, whether our mobile device is secure or not, like that. And then regarding the social engineering attacks that we have discussed, so what we can check is, first of all, these kind of general signs are there. So let's say one example is your friend sends you a strange message, and like whoever is victim of the social engineering attack, like you will feel like their emotions are heightened. Okay. So your emotions are heightened, the request is very urgent, whoever is doing like that, and the offer feels too good. So like that. So these are some kind of signs we should look for when we look for go for a social engineering attack. Okay. And then these are the your smartphones, and then you have to be safe, like what you could do, like install antivirus software like we discussed, encrypt your data. Okay. So don't jailbreak your phone, or don't root your phone for both Android and iOS. Beware of the downloads, of what kind of downloads we are doing, so like that. And security passwords are there. Our OS update should be to the latest versions as well. And yeah, so these are the things that we can do. And then what we can do if we found some fraud regardingly. So first of all, we can contact some local authorities as well. We can report to the mobile service provider as well, and we can use some online reporting platforms. Okay. So these are the general things if someone also encounters some cyber fraud. So right now what is happening is no one is knowing like what to do. So suddenly some fraud will happen to their relatives, and to them, or someone near to them. So they will not know, okay, what to do. So these kind of generic things already it is there. So we should follow these kind of practices. So first is like uh, there's a portal like NCCRP portal is there. So here we can just go and then we can report any kind of crime is there, and then accordingly the action will be taken. And here if we have some fraud is there, so directly we can call this number as well, and this thing, so directly it will guide you what are the next steps we can take. So this is the number. And then for the lost and the stolen device, so this is the website already the government has created. So here we can go for this thing and we can block it, we can erase all the data using the IMEI number as well. So definitely one should know the IMEI number of your device, because that will be helpful in later part of time. Yeah. So here, as part of this, so right now we have seen all the security measure in this thing. So as a part of that, CDEC has developed a application for the mobile device, Android mobile devices specifically. So and later we are planning to launch the application for the iOS also, for the Apple devices also. But right now it is present in the Android devices. Okay. So so these things, so we will see one by one what are the things that we are addressing right now for the citizens. So like we said, so there is a threat analyzer in the application. So here we can say like yeah, so in the threat analyzer, first of all the applications are there that are being analyzed by our ML model, and then it will give what kind of apps, if you have, if the someone has installed some malicious app, so they will try to predict, okay, these apps are malicious applications or not. So this is a part of the threat analyzer we have. And then we have the security as well, advisor as well. So basically in the Android devices, and in the iOS also, there are so many settings which is secure and which is not secure. Okay, but no one will know like, okay, what is the secure thing, what is the unsecure thing. So here in this application we will try to give what are the secure methods as also for doing this, what is the secure parameters, secure configuration inside the application someone can do to protect themselves. So this is the security advisor in the application. And like we said, like the government will somehow ban the applications by doing the various analysis. Okay, and there are some hidden applications as well. Okay, so we will, what we, this application will do is runtime, it will fetch all the information from the database, and it will show like, okay, the application, there are some applications in your device which is banned by the government. Okay, so these things we can tell like that. And then we said like adware scanners is there. So we have seen the adware. So here in this device, in this application, what you can see is what are all the adwares used by the application, and whether that adware is a secure adware or not. Okay, so this thing we can do in this thing. And there are this app statistics, like, so basically which application is being installed, what time, and you have used the application or not in the recent, in the past times, how many times you have used, from 6 months you have not done update. So like this, these kind of statistics also we will give. Okay, so yeah, so I think this is the uh, QR code for scanning direct to install the application directly from the Play Store. So here you can see. Yeah, so right now with this I think it's a short session as well, because I want to know for like some discussion points and discussion things, so we can have a discussion. If you have some doubts regarding this thing, then we can take that doubts. Yeah. uh,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you, Himanshu. I
Yeah.
think there are questions which are lined up. I'll read it for you.
Yeah.
You please try to explain them. You please try to explain them.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the meantime, like Sarmam, if you have any questions, you can keep it in the chat area so that we will ask the expert to clarify those things. So
Yeah.
the first question is how we will come to know, is there any hidden app in our Android device?
Yeah. So yeah, so just we are discussing about the hidden applications previously. So there are some applications. Okay. So right now we have discussed the mKavach applications. So like these applications you can download, because as a user you will not be able to know if you just launch the menu screen, because since it is a hidden application, we will not be able to see this thing. But if you install these kind of application, let's say mKavach applications, so directly if you install, it will give you, okay, these are all the hidden applications, and also it will give you a banned application also. Okay, so recently some application, let's say cam scanner, got banned, but as a user you have already downloaded it. Okay, how you will know, okay, some government has banned some application and it is already present in my device? So both the hidden application, banned applications, so directly you can see from that let's say those antivirus application. So this will show you. So this is how you can do. So directly you can go to the Play Store, and there you can find that application. They will give you like that. Yeah, I think it is clear.
Yeah, what is a bloatware application?
Yeah. So bloatware applications basically is, let's say you right now go to the market and purchase a mobile device. So let's say a Oppo device or any Samsung device. Okay. So when you bought that mobile device, you have not installed any application, right, in your device. So already there are various applications. If you see the YouTube and some cinema applications and other applications. Okay, so one example I will take, let's say Amazon Prime. So that application you should download from the Play Store. Why that manufacturer, let's say Oppo manufacturer, has already downloaded it? So that is not the original application. That is some modified version of it, and already it has some more privileges. So we should remove all the application when we have bought the any device directly, and then we should remove. So these are the applications which are known as the bloatware application, which you don't require. So definitely you require the contacts application, dialer application, and other applications. But that applications which are for entertainment purpose, that kind of things you won't require. So that are the bloatware applications, so that you can remove it. Yeah.
So
Just one
will
second.
it our MKavach will identify these applications?
So yeah, right now the bloatware applications, it is not providing, so that manually we have to see. But the hidden applications, any malicious applications, and those kind of applications, it will see. 1 second. Yeah. So
Thank you.
malicious.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah, so just wanted to, inform the audience that bloatware is something which is actually installed by the manufacturer.
Yeah. Correct.
So when you buy a device, generally it is there in Android device primarily, and if you buy some cheaper phone from, especially the Chinese manufacturers and all, so they have certain applications which are pre-installed, and then once you open those, at times it is found that some of these applications are actually a slightly modified version of what they are supposed to be, and then they try to capture certain data
Yeah.
which the user is not supposed to reveal otherwise. So best way is to look at once you buy a phone, you should always look at the number of apps which are there already there. So some may be relevant to you, some may not be relevant, but what are the, the kind of things it is asking to, if you go into the details of the permissions, then you will know that what are the applications which are seeking different kinds of permissions. So a little bit awareness on the user's part, you can always prevent such kind of data pilferage and other things. So that is why bloatware is important. Government also takes cognizance of this, and there are guidelines issued at time to time basis, and also that under that 69A Act also we have prohibited certain apps and other things which are coming as pre-installed. So this is something which the user awareness is required, that something which is coming just like that on your mobile, which is you, and whether you want it or not, what application it is, what it is saying. Many times when you see that you try to install an application, especially in Android, it will ask for all SMS to be read, and so on and so forth. So what happens when, I'll give you one example. Suppose you have some application which is a banking operation or financial transaction related application. Now once you are paying something using some other app, and you are able to you are expected to fill up an OTP. So the OTP comes through a banking channel. But this device, which the application which it is in which you are feeding, it is telling you that this OTP has come. So that means that OTP is an SMS actually. So you have given permission for that app to actually access your messages. So which is generally not advisable. In that case, then some misuse can happen if some external tools are installed in your device to hack it. Then the applications can read the SMSs and then bypass your security system. So that's why it is important to know what is there in your system, whether it is your computer device or it is a mobile. Since the session is on mobile, focus is on that. And one more thing I just want to, though it is very much prevalent now, every day you are reading these things, but what we should do from our side also as a aware user is also look at the kind of, the current cyber frauds which are happening. That is that FedEx scam which is happening, where when you get a call from some unknown number using a mobile only, these applications are being run. So what you will get is a kind of modus operandi is that you will get a call from some unknown number, and then the either you will get a message SMS saying that you have got a packet delivered, and FedEx or some agency has found something. Some issue is that there in that, and there is a number on which you are supposed to call. So you go back and call, and then they kind of trap you. Parallelly, they will be also giving you WhatsApp calls and so on and so forth. And invariably, the DP will be of some police officers or something like that. So unless and until you are sure that it is a number which you should take cognizance of, you should never ever, try to entertain these calls. Also look at whether the number is coming from +91 or it is coming from +92 or +94 or some other plus so on and so forth. Because +91 is our country code, whereas +92 is our neighbor Pakistan's code. So you should understand. Recently, I got a call from +92 with the DP of some police officer from Punjab. The DP is also having a background where he's sitting in his office and the names are displayed in Punjabi. So unless and until you are aware, people actually make good use of your mobile, and then they will try to scam you. So every day you are now reading. So what I would suggest to this group is not only keep this information with you, your family members, your elderly people in your family and vicinity, you should try to educate them that this is the pitfall, and any unknown call should be taken with a kind of pinch of this thing, that from which source it is coming. Is it kind of reliable source? If at all some messages come from saying that they are from a bank and your KYC is blocked and all, so on and so forth. So we should not respond to those messages. Rather than responding to those messages, we should try to contact that respective branch or bank directly through their helpline numbers. And whenever we are making a search on Google, I have even found one of the cases of one of the employee, MeitY, actually got scammed because he was looking at the number from the website, and the initial number which flashed there was some sponsored link, and from there he took some that helpline number and he called those, and then they kind of scammed him. So the idea is not to go to you should, when you are searching for some websites and all, there also you should see whether the websites are actually from that agency, whatever you are looking at, or it is a sponsored link coming on the top of the Google search and all. So what happens is that Google search, because of certain reasons, the certain fraudulent websites are able to compromise and then put their link at the top. So if you are not vigilant enough, you'll get scammed. And this aspect you should tell to others also. This is fairly a learned group. Still, I see a lot of questions like jailbreak kya hota hai, then bloatware kya hota hai. So that means even in the technical groups, these knowledge is somehow not there. So what will happen to your family and relatives who are not at all technically aware? So you should try to take care of their requirements also. They should be informed. If there are apps installed on your family members where there are financial transactions possible, we should try to make them aware. Like, I mean, simple scanner is there. If we just, I mean, allow anybody to scan anything with using your scanner, it may have some hidden things which get either it will lead to some fraudulent website or something related to some malware being installed, so on and so forth. So, I mean, these are things which one should look at. I'll intervene as and when required, but over to you, Jagdish.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And
Yeah,
Himanshu, like the next question is, I think as sir was mentioned, and
yeah.
is there any way to check the offered Wi-Fi is a secured one or not?
Yeah, so basically there are some apps which will tell you like what is basically security or not. But first of all, the basic thing is you should not connect to some open Wi-Fi. So that is the minimum required thing from the general user. So don't connect to a Wi-Fi. But again, for some, there are some applications which will tell you what is the security of those Wi-Fi as well. But the main thing is we should not connect to open Wi-Fi. So that is the most unsecure one. Otherwise, if it has some security parameters, so there we can connect like that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to add one more thing. Now we are supposed to work through e-office and all, and when we are on tour, and also we are generally expected to actually work on our electronic file systems, so on and so forth. Most of the people who are in government, they are supposed to use their e-office or Parichai login and all, so on and so forth. Now Parichai login is now put through a VPN. So what is happening is that if you are, I mean, doing some I mean, applications under that VPN, I mean, tunnel, then there are fair bit of assurance is there that nothing will go wrong. But when you are connecting your device to a open Wi-Fi, which is there in the airport, or you can say in the hotel room wherever you are staying, or in the guest house of some I mean agency, so you will have to understand that when you are doing applications, I mean, either through your mobile or through your computer, by connecting through that open Wi-Fi, uh, there are chances that your data is anyway seen by others, that is visible to others if you are not using VPN. And even otherwise, if somebody wants to, I mean, hack into your system and all, you become more vulnerable because most of the people where open Wi-Fi is there, people the hack it's a den for hackers, so they will look for, I mean, devices which has less security, and they will try to hack into that and then put some malware and so on and so forth, or steal your information. So we have to be cautious when we are going into some free Wi-Fi. Open is me generally free, so anything which is free, it comes as a price. So please understand, फ्री कुछ नहीं होता है, वो फ्री का मतलब कहीं ना कुछ then you are compromising something. So that much, and if your devices are having antivirus and all, some protection is there, but I rarely see people using antivirus on their mobile devices. So I mean, making it more kind of prone to these kinds of, because as soon as you have a Wi-Fi security enabled on your this thing mobile, and you have an antivirus application installed, it will not allow you to actually do, I mean, it will immediately warn you that this site which you are trying to do is having a malicious code, or the VPN which you are using, I mean, the net Wi-Fi connection which you are using is not secure. So it will always warn you. But because of the cost and all those things, people generally do not have antiviruses installed on their devices. So then you have to be doubly cautious, because your mobile carries all kinds of financial things also nowadays. Most of the things are done through using the financial apps which we are getting from the banks, and or Beam app or so on and so forth. So we have to be cautious when we are doing these things, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dish?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
So
So
just in addition to that, like as sir was mentioning, like browse it, no problem. Like browsing, reading, and all such kind of things can be done. But the only thing is, don't do any financial transactions. Please never ever do any financial transactions on any Wi-Fi or open network. Okay, that is the one like which everyone should follow. Please never ever do any financial transactions in a open or a public Wi-Fi network.
yeah,
Second thing, just as sir was mentioned, like charging our mobile phones. See, for example, most of the people carries a smartphones. So the mobile phones will drain the battery after usage of some time, some 5 6 hours can 5 6 10 hours kind of thing. Later part, like wherever we will get a charging point, immediately we will charge it. So please try to avoid those things also. Try to carry the power bank with you and charge it with your thing. And whenever you are trying to charge it in a open places, there is something called a concept called juice jacking, right? So like when we are trying to use those cables, or trying to use those cables to charge your mobile phones, there are chances. It is not that like everywhere that kind of thing can happen. There are chances that like whatever the critical data is there, that critical data can be transferred from your mobile through a charging wire, right? We don't know like what is charging where, like in the, like this side C type pin, and there like you will be having a USB, and in the USB or in the back side of the charging point we don't know what is there. So you have to be careful like while you are if at all if you are charging in a public places with your devices. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, Himanshu, like a few
I
more questions are there.
Yeah, I can take, sir, let's say directly from the chats. Let's say someone is asking like the about the how to identify social engineering attacks. Let's
No,
say,
no. Before that, there are some questions are there.
yeah,
Like as sir was mentioning,
uh,
what is a jailbreak?
yeah. So basically, jailbreak means like jailbreak. Jailbreak in terms of the iOS, it is there for Apple devices. The same terminology is for Android. It is termed as a rooted device. So basically, if you try to understand the basic thing is the jailbreak device or the rooted device, they will have extra privileges. So some attacker can do or a testing, if you want to do a testing, they can have the various other things, extra privileges. One example I will give. So let's say if you have a rooted device, one application can take the data of your other application. Let's say Instagram application you have, so that application has the capability to just take the data from some other application as well. So these kind of things will not be happening in a non-rooted device. So basically, and this is just one example, there are various other things, extra privileges in the rooted device, which is good for the attacker. So that is why it is recommended all the users should have a non-rooted device, and you should check also whether your device is a rooted device or not. So like that, here you can see because generally you will not know what is root and what is not root. So here, let's say in one example, mcoverage 2, directly if you just launch the application, it will give you root status, so not rooted. And if it is coming in, let's say, blue color, so blue color is a good thing. So basically it is good. If your device is a rooted device, directly this application will be able to detect it. So if it is red, means it is not secure. So like this you can use to even detect your application as well. Okay, so I
Right.
think you got the basic gist of it.
I mean, especially with regard to jailbreak, let me clarify one more point that, see, in India, what we get, the iPhones and all that we get is generally the sold by the company, that is the Apple. Apple is selling these, and then the iOS is installed on them. And the iOS, of course, it has certain advantages as compared to the Android in some of the I mean, features and all. So it is a kind of secure device. So generally, when you go, say, into the US or in some other countries, so what is happening is the devices are kind of logged devices. They are sold through the service providers. So they are cheaper because they are supposed to have a kind of subscription pack enabled. So they are kind of devices which are there for, say, 3 years. You will go on paying something, and then the device will be yours, and you will be continuing to use the services of the internet service provider or the telephone service provider. So in that, what people do is, because the device is cheaper, they try to lock into the, I mean, break the iOS and then install certain things, which is actually called jailbreak. I mean, it is a significant, I mean, the terminology is similar to jailbreak, means iOS is broken, and then they try to install the certain features through which you can then install apps and use this mobile without being it being unlocked by the iOS, because iOS keeps the entire devices under its. I mean, the Apple has a policy of keeping all the devices under certain kinds of checks and balances. So that is how you can see that multiple iOS devices, if you own, so they are able to talk to each other and so on and so forth. So many features are there. security features are there. You are able to log the device. If the device is lost, nobody will be able to take out data from there. So that kind of entire encryption, end-to-end encryption, and certain things are possible in iOS. So what people do in that is that they try to break open those kinds of cheaper models which are sold through the subscription model, and that is actually a jailbreak terminology. So it is really not, I mean, applicable in our country, and not so relevant for the people who are here. But just I thought, since this is being asked, so I'll just give a glimpse of what it is. So that is how it is. So the Android version, what is the our instructor is telling, Mr. Himanshu, is more relevant, because here the device actually is compromised. So if it is compromised, then the hacker has entire access. So that is why it is important to, I mean, prevent that. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Next question, Imanshu. And how to prevent unwanted apps played while opening the various applications?
So basically, this was observed previous times, and this will come like if you install some application, they will run in the background. So that background applications, the hidden application will basically pop some ads. So basically, if you try to detect some hidden applications, so indirectly you will be able to bypass these things. So these are done by the hidden applications as well. So if you just uninstall that hidden application, so directly you will be able to prevent this thing. So yeah, so this is this.
Okay. Sometimes mod.apk bypasses the Google Pay protection feature. In
Yeah, yeah.
this case, how do we go ahead?
Yeah, so basically this mod APK that someone is, I asked, I think the Kiran. So basically the mod APK someone is able to create itself is basically the application has the vulnerability, like he is not able to detect whether this application is genuine or not. So basically it is the lack of the secure coding practices. So let's say if I take some example of, let's say, Google Pay application, if you take, and if you try to create a mod of that application, if you install that mod application in the device, the application will say this is not a genuine application, and please install it from a genuine source. So this is the developer's thing. He should be able to develop a genuine application. But we can see like there are various gaming applications and other applications which is with for which the mod is available. So basically that application doesn't have some, there is one terminology called application integrity check. If the application developer has followed this thing, then this no one can be able to create a mod of that application. So inherently you cannot install it. Even if you install the mod application, it won't run. So it is the job of the developer to secure this. Yeah.
In questions, we can just go through the
Yeah,
chart like
yeah, that is better. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so someone asking like whether these hidden applications will affect the mobile functioning. So basically, definitely it is like the best practices to do, to remove the hidden applications from the device, because you don't know what this hidden application is doing from the inside. Okay, so these things definitely we should remove. And yeah, penetration testing. So basically penetration testing means like you just have to take the application as such. Even it could be a iOS application or a Android application. You can search for the vulnerabilities, like we discussed application integrity check. Like that, there are several vulnerabilities in that application. In the application, first we need to check whether it is secure or not. Then penetration tester can check, yeah, whether it is a secure application or not. Like that we can do. And yeah, SIM card based attacks, right now, some, I don't know whether the applications are there or not. Recent in the recent market, we have to look. But definitely the penetration testing can help in this case. Not I don't know about whether application is present or not currently in the app store, to just check it, app store or the play store. uh Stop and
And how do we
review.
trust some AI chatbot or robocalls? Is it
Yeah.
legal or not?
How do we trust me? I chatbot robot, that is. That this I think AI chatbot. This I don't think from the mobile perspective. So if someone has developed inside the mobile device directly the AI chatbot or this thing, then we can test it what exactly it is doing. but it is from the web API. So let's say if someone has done a chatbot in the mobile device, so we can, in the while doing the penetration testing, we can check so what exactly it is doing, which API call it is making. So that thing we can check. But from the web part of it, I think we need to test it. So some testing is required. So before that, we can not say, I think, so what part it is doing. Yeah. I think switch off and reboot is, I don't know about the technicalities of it, but there are some there are some things which are already, there are some apps, let's say it is open. So there is some cache memory involved in the reboot thing, but even